Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video. Today I have a very interesting build for you as we gonna turn you into a hunter. Yes, always wanted to play like a hunter, just disappear in a cloud of smoke. This is the build for you. It's a very interesting addition to the game. The new exotic Exodus gloves will come in clutch in the combination with this build. It is a lot of fun. Run and gun through everybody. People get confused. You have your full armor on kill. You feel powerful. You have the survivability. And if they hit you, you turn into a hunter. You disappear to pop out of the smoke and take your enemies out with the 240% critical hit damage that this build puts out. It is a lot of fun, there's a lot of survivability, there's a lot of damage output, and you can turn yourself into a hunter. Let's jump over to the build and let me showcase what we built for you, and it's quite easy to get together. And this is the Hunter's build, Hunter's Fury, and of course the new Exodus gloves that gives us that beautiful drop of the smoke bomb. Starting with our specialization, we are utilizing the gunner specialization. Why? For that extra armor on kill, and of course that grenade as well. Getting a little foam in if you know where the enemy spawns. If you know where the enemy is, you can throw that grenade, trap them. You only have to take out one of them and the whole build kicks in and you shred through that whole group and you can move on. So those are the two main things why we're using gunner, and there is of course also a third reload that will be 50% faster. And then what gun are we using? We are using the Tactical Vector SBR 9mm. And you would think like, why not the Dark Winner, as this, the Tactical Vector, hits a little bit harder than the Dark Winner, even though we are using the same talent on there. This is Killer. Killing an enemy with a critical hit grants you 70% critical hit damage for 10 seconds, where the Perfect Killer gives us 90% critical hit damage. But after all calculations, the Tactical Vector at its top will do a little bit more damage. We're talking about 1 to 2% difference in the max damage output. And this, just like the whole gameplay that you just saw, was without any expertise on there, so everybody can see what a base build will do with this base Vector 9mm. Of course, we went for damage to target out of cover on there, and we went for the critical hit damage twice, so giving us 20% extra critical hit damage, 5% critical hit chance, and of course the extra rounds on there, minus the 10% reload speed for all the mods on the gun. The secondary gun can be whatever you like. I use the Lexington, maybe use that sometimes whenever you need to beam somebody down from a distance. That's why I use it. Some missions or sometimes an NPC will start hiding, and it's a little bit easier to take out a gun that does damage on range, so you can go for whatever. Same as for your pistol. For your pistol, you kinda always wanna choose something that you don't have proficient yet, except if you play a lot with this pistol. This build is not around a pistol, so use whatever you like. It will save you duplicates and materials. Then the rest of the build, what you can already see, 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. We can still shred through people like you saw in the gameplay without even having a damage talent on our backpack, as we are of course utilizing the Hunter's Fury with the backpack that will give us overwhelming force, increasing the radius of the disorient on the Apex Predator kills from 5 to 10 meters. So this helps you out a ton, and you can just chain kill around. Kill one enemy, the next enemy is confused. Kill the next enemy is confused. Or of course, if you catch them in a group, what will be the best damage output that you can create? It will also help you out a ton from going from 5 to 10. but it is not an extra damage. So why are we utilizing Hunter's Fury? Of course, for the SMG damage, that extra armor on kill comes in clutch as well. Combined with our specialization, we have 30% armor on kill, what gives us a huge survivability. But also, the 4-piece Apex Spreader is also a survivability next to the damage output. Enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%, and killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorient enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up 5 times. So in a perfect world, we can get a 45% extra amplification damage on a group of enemies. And this is the damage output, but also because you disorient people, they won't shoot back, they don't know where they are, so this is also instantly that survivability part of the Hunter's Fury kit. Then, 4 pieces, the mask, the holster, and the knee pads, everything rolled towards critical hit damage. Everything you can roll towards that, because we're running around with an SMG, the critical hit damages are already pretty high up there, so you don't have to go for critical hit chance on nothing. The only thing that will have critical hit chance is then, of course, your chest piece. We are choosing to go for Seska to get that extra 8% critical hit chance in. Of course, the rolls are critical hit chance, critical hit damage, again, and critical hit damage mod. And we went for Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. Stacks up 20 times. So this gives us an extra 20% weapon damage. And now, the new Exodus exotic gloves. I like to make a redraw is the inscription on the gloves. It comes with weapon damage, it comes with critical hit chance and critical hit damage, and it comes with the talent Smokescreen. On armor break, drop a smoke bomb at your feet, concealing you from enemies for 3 seconds, and the cooldown is 40 seconds. And this comes in clutch when you're running and gunning through everything, and that maybe one of the enemies escaped your disorient or escaped the 10-meter radius and still shoots you down. This smoke bomb will create. They don't know where you are, and you will almost always get at least 50% of your armor back because they don't spot you. The game thinks you're not in combat, so you will get your armor back. Another extra survivability that you have, and this just creates that awesome looking smoke bomb and changes you into that hunter. If your armor breaks, you can just keep on sprinting and keep on shooting. You get that minimum extra 50% armor back and just shred through everybody. Take somebody out, they get disoriented. 10-meter radius around them, everybody gets disoriented as well, and just shoot people down. You only have to take out 2 enemies to get back to full armor because, of course, the combination of our specialization and the Hunter's Fury gives us a 30% armor on kill. And this is what makes it perfect. And it is a great combination of a build. And it's pretty easy to get together. Almost everybody has that chest piece. The Hunter's Fury is, of course, hella easy to get. Dive into Countdown, set your targeted loot to Hunter's Fury, and you get this kit instantly. And of course, the exotic gloves are on the seasonal track this season on level 29, so most of y'all probably have this unlocked already. If you are watching this video after the season, it will be open in the open world loot pool, and then again, go to Countdown, set your loot on gloves, and farm for them. And that's pretty much the whole overview of the build. I'm using a shield and I'm using the Revive Hive. The Revive Hive because you're still running around a solo. There is a lot of survivability in the build, so if you feel comfortable, you can use whatever you like. And just like the shield, you can play around with the shield, or you could even catch your foam out and even trap some more enemies. Take him out and then rinse and repeat. Everybody is confused. Everybody gets that 45% extra amplify damage on them. There are a lot of ways to play with the skills. And then let's jump over to the stats real quick. It's of course all about the crit chance and the crit damage. 56% crit chance is what you want to aim for, and then of course 173% critical hit damage. We already talked about the armor on kill. That's 217,000 for our only 726k armor, so that's pretty out there. It will help you out. A lot of survivability, and of course a lot of damage output. And that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments down below what you like about this build. Did you test this out already? Or were you a little bit on the fence with the gloves? Test it out, it's a lot of fun, it gives you survivability, it lets you feel like a hunter, and you can shred through enemies. Thanks for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and or you want to be updated by the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.